Okay, hi everybody. This is Kevin Hogan, Content Director for Tech and Learning magazine and techlearning.com, and also working this year on our Tech and Learning Live at ISTE 2016. We're going to be doing live coverage all week during the big event in Denver. But in the weeks leading up, we thought it would be a good idea to reach out to some of our advisors and some of our educators who have helped us through the years to learn about the latest and greatest in ed tech, to see what they're going to be doing at ISTE this year. And with that, Steve, thank you for joining us. I think the last time we saw each other, we were hanging out at the White House, right?
I think that was about right, yeah.
That was pretty cool. But Steve, you could just give a short intro to your experiences and what you're doing now.
So I'm with Discovery Education. I'm the Director of Learning Communities and Social Media Strategy. I focus in a lot on the Discovery Educator Network, our community, do a lot of professional development, and this is going to, my gosh, I can't even remember exactly how many years now I've been going to ISTE, but it's probably about maybe the last 15 or so, give or take. Yeah.
So that's last century almost.
Something like that, yeah.
So talk a little bit about your experiences from those days to the conversations that you expect to be having this year. I mean, what has the evolution been? Has it been something that you see as violent, slow moving? What's your general take?
I think what the biggest shift that I've seen has been this evolution of these, the conference always had the formal sessions and then poster sessions and things like that. But over the last, 10, 15 years, we saw things like the Bloggers Cafe start to develop, and those led to, all these different small little niche areas, the lounges, the playgrounds, and all these other sort of semi-unstructured, but they really help flesh out the entire conference experience. It really allows such a big event to feel a lot smaller in a sense, because you can gather together in sort of these small groups and have a very concentrated PLN network style experience without just feeling overwhelmed by the fact that there's, I think, 15, 20,000 attendees coming to this thing.
Right.
It's been an interesting evolution there.
And maybe along the lines of practicing what we preach a little bit. I mean, are you talking about some online groups that communicate all year in the virtual world, but this is their one opportunity to meet face to face, and there's a certain value to that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think what a lot of people do is, based on your specific interests, whether that be the maker movement, whether that be coding, whether that be virtual reality or some other aspect of it, you kind of find that playground or that lounge, or that hits your skill level. If you're a blogger, maybe you're hanging out more in that quote unquote Bloggers Cafe. There's the ISTE Newbie Lounge, and typically you'll kind of see these, for lack of a better term, almost like a cohort, where these people will kind of use that area as the home base. They'll congregate together. They'll help flesh out some of those, those connections that they've only made in the interwebs before, and kind of develop a much stronger network through those physical interactions during the conference.
Let's talk a little bit about, you're going to be a busy man. Four sessions over the course of 3 days. Can you break down some of the things that you're going to be talking about?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to be doing 2 sessions with my buddy Adam Bello. We're going to be doing one session that's actually just before the opening keynote. It's a gadget session. I'm trying to remember exactly what we called it, and I probably ought to know that offhand. Oh,
I think I got it here too.
Do you? Okay, I'm pulling it up, but it's going to take forever. Given my bandwidth right now. Okay, gizmos and gadgets for use in, but mostly out of the classroom. I've done one or a couple of gadget sessions over the years, not too many, but I think what our strong suit is, we're not just going to be talking about things that we've seen on the web. We're going to be talking about things that we've actually used hands-on, either by ourselves or with students or in professional development and so on. So we're really going to be trying to do a big focus on actual demos and practical experience. And honestly, a lot of this stuff is just fun. And so it's going to be a little bit more playful, and then we're also going to get into things like, very hot topics in education right now, things like virtual reality, 360-degree video, and all that kind of stuff.
Very cool. And then what about the second one here about the fear of the sitting dead, about professional development, something that we hit upon every month?
Yeah, so combined between me and Adam, we've probably done, I mean, literally hundreds, if not thousands, of professional development events, and we've seen the very best of what there is to offer and the very worst. Also combined with Discovery. At Discovery, we literally, I don't think people realize just how much professional development we hand out. I looked it up just in 2016. We've delivered over 6,000 days of professional development. So we got a lot of experience. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be talking about alternate models beyond just the typical sit and get. We're going to be ways to get people more active, ways to revamp your faculty meeting. We're going to be talking about things like Breakout EDU and some of the more structured things we've done with Discovery, like ambassador programs, mentorships, virtual conferences, all sorts of different stuff, and kind of ways to shake it up. Student-led events, and some of the best that we have to offer. And honestly, I think what I'm most looking forward to is we've got a lot of different ways for the audience to actually get out of their seats and get involved and have some fun with it.
That's great. Now, do you expect the audience members there to be educators or administrators or a mix of both?
I think it's all sorts, and that's one thing that I found is, especially when it comes to ISTE attendees, even the typical classroom teachers kind of typically have a blended role, because they're out there learning from their PLN and getting and sharing, and they're typically the ones that are getting tapped to present at faculty meetings or to run after school, chat and choose and that kind of stuff. So we found that even just the ordinary classroom teacher that's attending ISTE, typically they're also doing PD, or they're the ones who kind of evolved to become integration specialists and so on. So I think a lot of people are going to get a lot out of it, and also just people who are looking to make a change in their own school district and get away from the traditional, we have 2 days of professional development, we're going to bring in a guest speaker, and this is what it's going to look like. People who want to kind of shake that up a little bit.
Right. Now, your last two sessions seem to be in a special group on BYOD. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Absolutely. With Nick Provenzano and a really wonderful crew, we're doing a panel on the maker movement. These are all people who are very, very active in the maker spaces right now. We're going to do a short panel of about 30 minutes. Honestly, not a lot of Q&A, unlike most panels that I've done. But then what we're going to do is we're going to split up, and we're actually going to have stations where they're demonstrating some of the things that they've actually done with their students, and then people can get their Q&A in that way. They can actually go there, play, get some hands-on time, and ask people in a much more conversational way, talk specifically with those people about what they're doing in the classroom and their best practices, challenges, and so on. We figure that way we can kind of increase the amount of time that people have to get their questions answered. And then with Porter Palmer, I'm doing 50 Ways to Use Board Builder in the Classroom, which is honestly one of the most popular sessions that we have at all of our Discovery professional development events. Board Builder is a way to create multimedia presentations and projects using both Discovery resources and their students' own resources outside of Discovery, and bring it all together sort of like in this crazy multimedia poster board. And we're going to try and go through, we're going to hope to get through 50 different ways to use that in the classroom with your students, ranging from portfolios to science fairs to virtual field trips to all sorts of different crazy stuff. So it's going to be a really fun one, very fast paced, but also some opportunities for people to get hands on and try it out for themselves.
Right. Well, I hope you schedule some time to sleep between all of these.
I have it on the schedule for about 2 hours on Monday night, so hoping not to double book that.
That sounds great. Well, Steve, thanks very much for your time. Really looking forward to seeing you in Denver, and we'll put the specifics for your sessions up on techlearning.com for not only you, but for many of the advisors that we're going to be speaking to in the next couple of weeks leading up to the big event. So thanks again, and see you in Denver.
Sounds good. Thank you.
All right, bye.